I look forward to, and I long for, the time, which I think is coming, that the only reason to have a woman's filmmaker showcase is to examine the concerns, aesthetics, commonalities, and differences in the themes and the choices of material because it was made by a woman and not because it is a gesture to balance the equation or that there are no other venues to which exhibit this work made by women. I'm getting all breathless because it means so much to me. And it does start with the language of presentation. I love that the Big Apple Film Festival, as part of their regular, meaning normal, series, calls this weekend Women's Filmmaker Series. Women are the noun, not the adjective. The possessive S makes the filmmaker series theirs. It doesn't describe what kind of filmmakers they are. And from the program, they, like their films, are very diverse. So many times, in the most recent times, when it comes to filmmakers, we go back to the days of lady doctors or lady lawyers with the term female filmmaker that inaccurately modifies the kind of filmmaker we are as opposed to who we are. Now when we hear the antiquated term lady doctor, we assume that that doctor, male or female, is an OBGYN. I have been labeled myself a female filmmaker. First of all, the facts of that moniker are true. It's also true that we need some sort of specific identification when opportunities are presented to rectify underrepresentation. But it doesn't modify the kind of filmmaker I am, as the language suggests. One of the reasons that I love teaching film and film production is because I get to see who my students are. Not only what they think, but what they care about and why. It's virtually impossible for them to make even a short 5-minute film, even if it's a fantastical story that seemingly has nothing to do with them, without it revealing something utterly profound about who that person is and what they value. And I will say that I began teaching production, when I began teaching production almost 2 decades ago, being a woman did not garner me a lot of respect. When it came to practical considerations, something as simple as how to set up and balance a tripod with a fluid head, both men and women listened more intently and seriously to my male assistant, who had much less experience and knowledge. But it's gotten better. And I don't know where, oh yes, here we go. I think this is correct. Just a little bit more. I think that the Big Apple Film Festival called the Big Apple Film Festival called and asked me to open up the Women's Filmmaker Showcase to introduce tonight's film in part because I had shown my feature-length documentary That Way Madness Lies here at their festival several months ago, and they could really see that I had a point of view and was willing to put that point of view out there. And I want to believe that I am the one who has the honor of introducing the film that opens the showcase tonight, I Am Pedro, a film by Lillian LaSalle, not out of mere coincidence, but because rather a deeper meaning that we're able to excavate that when we truly engage and try to connect to the work. First, you must be Lillian, right? Okay. Firstly, Lillian, thank you for making such a wonderful film about a wonderful man. Thank you for showing us how one man's openness to impact, which is something he says in the film, could create meaning and worth for himself and for those around him. It's my favorite kind of story. one person's singular journey on an epic canvas of obstacles, attempting to make a difference, to be a voice, and a helping hand to those most vulnerable. When I learned that I would be opening the Women's Filmmaker Showcase, I love saying that, and the film that I would be introducing is called My Name is Pedro, I was stunned. Really? How could I say those words? I had spent my childhood emphatically announcing to my family, my name is not Pedro. My mother was from Mexico, and my father, an American, had been educated there. And when they married and came to the US in the mid-1960s to start a family, the household culture was decidedly old world Latino. A huge chasm delineating roles. If I slightly deviated from those prescribed roles, for example, if I played with my brother's Tonka trucks, my parents would sternly say, in unison, "Stop that, Pedro." And I would lament, "My name is not Pedro." And my brother would be called Petunia if he deviated from his gender role. And I have to admit, I like Pedro better than Petunia. And I now realize that we were so conditioned, it seemed better to be called a boy's name than to be called a girl's. There's a lovely moment in this film where Pedro uses the phrase, my name is Pedro, to teach children English. They repeat the phrase, and he says, "No, my name is Pedro." They finally get it and use it with their own name. My name is Sandra. But I have to tell you, after watching this film, I have never been happier to say, my name is Pedro. It's a film by Lillian LaSalle. Lillian is a first-time director and the recipient of the 2016 Peabody Future of the Media Award. She's produced films that have been premiered at Sundance and won Independent Spirit Awards, and that is only some of her most recent accomplishments, besides making this heartfelt film. Let's please welcome her to introduce her film.
Hi everyone, thank you. Sandra, that was totally unexpected. Thank you for the kind words and for your thoughtfulness. I want to thank everyone here for coming. I want to especially thank Jonathan Lippman, the director of this festival, who I guess woke up one day and said, I should do a women's filmmaker showcase. So I think that's pretty cool that he put that thought into action, and then here we are today. I also want to thank you for supporting independent film. It's a very, very important part of our world. For me, it's my favorite genre of any kind. And so you buying a ticket to be here tonight means so much to me and means so much to the world of filmmakers, so thank you. I guess the last thing I want to say, I was told to keep this short. The last thing I want to say is that the fact that you said, Sandra, that when you were a child, you would say, my name is not Pedro, and the coincidence behind that surprises me not at all, because everything about the making of this film, which only took 7 years, was one coincidence after another, and it really just makes a lot of sense to me that you're the one to introduce the film tonight, and I hope after you see the film you'll see what I mean. We'll see you after for a panel and Q&A. Thank you.
Make sure you guys turn off your cell phones, please.